Get started here. As I mentioned, it's very exciting and a big honor for me to be here with you tonight and to introduce our special and incredibly important Scientific Advisory Board members. And tonight we're going to be talking about our flagship product, Amalaki. The SAB really spent years perfecting the formula for this product, and I truly believe that this is one of the most unique products on earth. So they're going to go into detail about the reasons why this product is so special, but I just want to take a very brief moment to present these gentlemen to you tonight. So our SAB members are Dr. Suhas Kashir-Sagar and Dr. Tom Urema, and they have been a part of our company since the very beginning. They're both, in their own way, world-renowned experts on mind-body health. They formulated every single one of our products and know them better than any other person at our company. And more than anyone, I also think that they truly understand the goal we are trying to accomplish, which is to create clean, pure products that really work and that promote radiant, total body health from the inside out. So tonight I'll start by introducing Dr. Tom. He is the Director of Clinical Medicine for Kerala Ayurveda, and he really is a pioneer in the field of integrative medicine. He has an incredibly unique approach to medicine in that he uses both Eastern and Western, modern and traditional approaches when treating patients. He brings 12 years of experience working in emergency medicine to the formulation of our products, as well as Eastern traditional healing practices like allopathy and Ayurveda. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, Dr. Tom is also an author. He has an award-winning cookbook called Eat, Taste, Heal that is a really incredible collection of recipes, and I highly recommend that you guys go out and use it. Dr. Suhas is a world-renowned Ayurvedic physician and educator from India. He holds an MD in Ayurvedic medicine with a gold medal from one of the most prestigious universities in India. He's traveled worldwide popularizing Ayurvedic medicine, and he truly is one of the most renowned experts on Ayurveda in the world. In addition to being a motivational speaker and a faculty at many schools worldwide, he's also a clinician and educator at the Chopra Center for Wellbeing, which many of you know was founded by Dr. Deepak Chopra and which endorses 3 products. And as I mentioned, he does have a new book out called The Hot Belly Diet. It features a foreword by Dr. Deepak Chopra, and he actually was just on the Dr. Oz show this week promoting his new book, and you can find a clip of his appearance from Dr. Oz on our Facebook page, so I hope you go and check that out. So with that, a big welcome to these 2 gentlemen. It's a very big honor to have you here with us tonight. And I'm going to turn the call over now to our Scientific Advisory Board to speak about Amalaki. Go ahead, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kate. And it is an honor to be here today and an honor to be speaking about the original Amalaki drink, because this really takes us back to our roots. And, you know, the root of this company is, of course, our leader. And great companies are built by great leaders. Mr. Bill Farley, from the very beginning, established the core values of natural wellness, supported by research, innovation, and focus on clean, pure products that really, really work. And so with this, we undertook a very aggressive product development of this initial product. It was literally about 10 or 11 months of hard work and at least 70 different iterations of this formula before we actually came up with it. And this very first product was the product that launched ZRI into the MLM space as one of the most successful companies in the entire United States as the original Amalaki drink. And since that inception, we've grown into a whole family of products, and our distributorship has gone worldwide. Currently, the original Amalaki drink is available United States, Canada, Colombia, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Peru, Mexico. And it all began with this great leader's great question. This is one of the things that I find very interesting in observing great leaders, is they ask questions of their team that provoke them into thinking and development that is really, really extraordinary. So the original question was, if you could just give one thing to every man, woman, and child every day for the rest of their life that would truly impact their health, what would that be? And he posed that question to myself, he posed it to Dr. Suhas, he posed it to Dr. Deepak Chopra, and after a period of time, we all settled on one particular thing that we could give every man, woman, and child every day for the rest of their life to positively impact their health. And out of that grew the Amalaki liquid nutrition. Now, why liquid? Why a liquid beverage? Why a beverage? Well, in the history of humankind, if you look at our own lives, We drink water, we drink milk, we drink tea, we drink coffee, and perhaps we drink juice. And not all of us have accessible to us fresh fruit juice every single day. And so the food and beverage industry has begun to be producing these high fructose corn syrup pre-made juices. And then they evolved onto soda. And this has been one of the undermining of human nutrition, is that last part of that trajectory. So we went back to, can we boost immunity? Can we address chronic inflammation? Can we provide broad spectrum antioxidant protection through a liquid nutritional? And if so, how would we do it? Well, at the time, our clinic was located in Hawaii, and the cost of shipping kind of outstripped the wholesale cost of products, and so food costs were extremely expensive. Medicine costs were extremely expensive, whether they were pharmaceutical or natural medicine. So in our clinical practice, in my clinic there, we used food, local food as medicine, quite brilliantly, and many times we got results faster and better than with pharmaceuticals or with nutraceuticals that were imported from the different continents. So we had a lot of experience in using local food, local herbs, and what we could see is that during times of debility, liquid nutrition, as opposed to solid nutrition, it just worked great. So it was very, very easy to say, okay, we're going to take this one superfood called amalaki that we've all agreed on as being the one thing to give every man, woman, and child every day for the rest of their life to positively impact their health, and how can we make it even better? There were a lot of antioxidant fruit juices already on the market. How can we make it better? We said, okay, we're going to marry this one herb with other synergistic ingredients. And after we launched this, we saw that this was providing benefit of less colds, complements, creating complements on people's complexion, new energy, confidence, optimism, better sleep, and then the reports went on and on and on. So we'll go more into the science that supports those testimonials from the field on this keystone product, but let's take a look at the fruit that is the core of this, the amalaki. Now this fruit is from the base of the Himalayas, so let me pass the microphone on to Dr. Suhas, because that's the region of the world that he is native to. So go right ahead, Dr. Suhas.
Well, thank you, Dr. Tom. And when we are talking about this wonderful superfruit amalaki, we need to understand that the word amalaki is a Sanskrit word, and what it simply means, or it simply translates to something which is ultra clean and ultra pure. It is considered to be the fruit for immortality, and there's a lot of divinity to this fruit, and I don't want to make it too esoteric, but there is a full moon, and interestingly, this full moon which is happening in the next couple of days is a special full moon which is named after this fruit itself. So when the fruit ripens on this full moon, everybody gathers underneath these trees in the foothills of Himalayas. They actually worship the tree and seek the permission from the tree to collect these fruits, because the potency of this fruit is optimum at this time on this given specific full moon. So we wanted to make sure that we collect the fruits from the right region. They're clean, they are pure, they are optimum potency, and more importantly, it is containing the most medicinally therapeutic benefit in the fruit itself. And when the superfruit is being dissected by the medical community around the world, it is impossible to find what is exactly it is doing so many diverse medical therapeutic benefits, reducing inflammation, boosting immunity, so forth and so on. So there are multiple phytonutrients, and that's the reason why we call it as the fruit for immortality. And the whole message of Zri is understanding that we give you a food which is so intelligent that simply invokes your own inner intelligence in the body, so that you can attract luster and radiance and prosperity and splendor in your life, because the right foods, the intelligent foods, make you smart. And when something comes from Mother Nature with as intelligent as Amalaki together, combined with six other very smart, intelligent herbs together, I think that's when we are actually getting this combination of liquid nutrition. And as Dr. Tom was telling you, that the body is nothing but simple fountains of different juices flowing everywhere. So liquid nutritional blends into those fountains of different juices and actually connects all the dots between heart, lung, liver, kidneys. So the multiple benefits of Amalaki, which we like to call it as the great rejuvenator, is cooling down the function of the liver. It fortifies and improves the functioning of the liver. It cleanses the blood. It is actually having a great impact on your cognitive and the brain function. It's very good for your eyesight, skin, hair, nails. It enhances your mental function, and more importantly, it actually connects the dot between the heart, lungs, and your brain itself. It actually creates a better oxygenation, improves your sexual performance, libido. It improves your muscle tone, especially lean muscle mass. And more importantly, even though it tastes a little bit sweet and sour, it has a very profound impact on regulating blood sugar. And it's very revered for that specific purpose in Ayurvedic medicine. And more importantly, it is, even though it is cooling and anti-inflammatory in nature, it actually improves your metabolic function. So your ability to extract the nutrient from the food is greatly enhanced. So that's why it's one of the most medicinally used botanical on the earth, and it's supposed to be not only very rich in vitamin C, but it contains a good protective ascorbigen quality which supports the vitamin C without getting it oxidized. That's why it's very stable and it remains good even if it's bottled together with other herbs together. So when we look at all the other friends and superstars that are in this wonderful triangle, and I'm always very intrigued with the shape, how we combined and formulated this together. Amalaki as the emperor herb, as we call it, and all these other six herbs, they are precisely interlocked together. And it's a very intelligent, smart formulation which actually connects all the dots together. So it balances all the three doshas. It is good for all the seven tissues. It is good for all the seven layers and the seven chakras in the physiology as such. And more importantly, it is good for everyone to consume in every season of their life at every age. And that's the reason why we call it as a rasayana, as a rejuvenator. So when you look at turmeric, has a very potent anti-inflammatory effect, and there is a tremendous amount of scientific documentation about that. Jujube is a great harmonizer. It boosts your sexual function and it regulates and improves the quality of your sleep. Haritaki is one of the best herbs to regulate your GI system, your digestive function, your regulation of the enteric nervous system with the central nervous system, and actually purges out impurities. And the good thing about the Zri Amalaki drink is it is detoxification and rejuvenation hand in hand together. It opens the pathways and drives the intelligent nutrients more deeper in the system. Tulsi is a great adaptogen, is very powerful antioxidant. Again, a lot of research done on its ability to help you manage stress more effectively. Shizandra is also an adaptogen. So when you look at this, every herb contains 4 or 5 different tastes in them. And when it contains so many different tastes and so many different potencies all blended together, 1 plus 1 doesn't have to be 2, it can be 11, it can be 111. So the synergy of all of these things blended together is very powerful. And ginger is a simple vehicle which actually optimizes your digestive function and allows you to assimilate and use this more effectively. One another important point which I would like to point out here, that it's Zri Amalki drink is excellent for head to toe for everyone. It's good for your hair, skin, eyes, stomach, and the GI distress. It's good, used for hyperacidity, things like that. It's good for opening up your respiratory pathways, improving the vital capacity of the lung. It's also a gentle diuretic quality, good for liver, good for joints, good for blood. So more importantly, as I said, it's an intelligent herb. It knows exactly what to do in which person at what time. So if at all you are having 2 or 3 people starting on Zri Amalki juice, they may have different experiences because the herbs calibrate to their needs and they know exactly where to start sweeping and cleaning the body and using the potency of these herbs more effectively in different people. So I would encourage them to stay on to this herb when they start something new, especially at least for 3 months before they start seeing the full benefit of Zri Amalki as such. And again, when we tasted this drink, it was so delicious. It was so wonderful. One of the first questions that was asked by many distributors and our colleagues was that it is so tasty and so delicious. It must be containing so much of sugar, and anything which contains sweet cannot be that good for you. So we took it to the lab and we took it to the person who actually coined the term called as glycemic index. And we took it to the lab in Canada, in Toronto, and requested him, can you just check the glycemic index and the glycemic load of this food to see whether it is good? And he looked at it, he tasted it, and he says, oh, I'll have to take it to the lab. And he was ecstatic when he called us back that the Zri Amalki drink is not only low glycemic, but it is also having a low glycemic load. And he was so excited. He said it's a great tasting liquid on the tongue, but it actually has a good effect on lowering and regulating the blood sugar. It's almost something which you can be prescribed for a pre-diabetic condition or something like that. So something which tastes good on the tongue and actually has a post-metabolic effect of lowering your blood sugar is indeed a smart food.
So this, for me as a medical doctor, this formula is a bit paradoxical. When, as I said, when Mr. Bill Farley came to me and said, let's formulate something for every man, woman, and child for the rest of their life every day for improve their health, that's very antithetical to the practice of medicine because we treat specific individuals with specific conditions. And so as Dr. Suhas was saying, this particular formula is what we call a racina or a rejuvenative. It has detoxification qualities. It has all of these different herbs that are affecting different parts of the body, and so different people will have different effects. And it was a little bit hard for me as a Western doctor to really wrap my head around how profound that could be in such a wide variety of people, all ages, different genders, different stations of life, different medical conditions, different stages of health. And so after we launched it to the field, the reports started coming back, and the reports were, yes, oh, my musculoskeletal pain has gone away, my eyesight has improved, my sleep has improved, my energy has improved, my blood sugar has improved, my constipation has improved. All these different things were like coming at us from so many different angles. We said, oh my gosh, you know, this was performing even better than we expected. So I said, can we send this to a lab and have them do some studies on it? Because this is clearly way outperforming other liquid nutritionals in the marketplace. So we did that, and it was very interesting. They're choosing what lab we were going to use because the standard for testing antioxidants and liquid nutritionals is something called ORAC measurement, ORAC. Most of you have probably heard about this already, the ORAC of one liquid nutritional, the ORAC of grape juice, these different things. This is a benchtop measurement that really says very little about how something is actually acting at the cellular level in all of the various tissues of our body. So we chose a lab that did cellular tests. And so the first test that we asked them to do was, does the effect that's given by Zri actually penetrate the cell, or does it just stay in the liquid part of the blood? And so they put the red blood cells in a solution of Zri, then they took the red blood cells out of the Zri and washed all the Zri off, and then they tested the red blood cells and they said, oh, absolutely, these red blood cells have more energy, they have more protection against oxidant stress, even after the Zri has been washed off. So there was clear evidence that whatever was going on in this magic formula, it was getting into the interior of the cell. Then we started looking at the energy production within the mitochondria, what is called the power plant of individual cells, and if that was protected from stress even after the ZRE had been washed off, and that again showed very positive results. And then we said, okay, let's look at inflammation, because that's the most problematic thing in the West today, whether it's stress-induced, whether it's toxin-induced, whether it's dietarily induced. Chronic inflammation is the big problem. And so the laboratory director ran her tests, and then when she called me, she says, you know what? This is really getting a little bit out of hand. And I said, what do you mean getting out of hand? She says, well, I keep diluting the solution of ZRE more and more and more and more and performing my assay, and it keeps turning out well that these active ingredients are penetrating into the interior of white blood cells and balancing the inflammatory response. And I'm now at the point where I can't dilute it out anymore to make sure that I have statistical significance. So you have something extremely unique going on in this. And I was like, wow, you know, this is really, really worth getting out to more and more people. So we have seen over and over again that this liquid nutritional, the original Amalaki drink, it enhances cellular rejuvenation. It fortifies immunity. It promotes energy and increases vitality. It creates a more effective and efficient digestion. It improves the complexion, making it more radiant and luminous, and people experience an improved sense of well-being and joy. And as Dr. Suhas said, this has been recommended for thousands of years to all body types, all levels of wellness, and all ages. So some of the questions that typically come up is, well, what about very, very young children? What about kids under 6, for example? Well, in my family, because I've got 2 children, and when ZRE original Amalaki first came out, they were quite young. They were 4 and 3, and I would routinely give them. And what I saw was that, you know, the herbal tastes could be a little bit strong for their taste buds in the beginning, and so I would just dilute it out a little bit, dilute it out 1-to-1 in water, and they very, very gladly took it. We've also heard from many people in the field that when they first start taking it, it seems to be a little bit heating in the stomach and the midsection of the body. If you get that kind of comment from the people that you're sharing this with, just have them dilute it out very simply, okay? How much do we recommend? Well, for children under 6, I think about 1/2 ounce daily is good. And from 6 on upward, 1 to 2 ounces a day. Young adults, 16 and older, certainly 2 ounces a day is perfectly fine. And you'll see that the mini pouches are 2-ounce packages. So they work really, really great in lunch boxes and in purses and in briefcases and backpacks to take on the run. Now, is there a difference between consuming on an empty stomach versus with food? Well, indeed, there will be more absorption and more rapid absorption if it's taken on an empty stomach, and particularly if it's at room temperature or slightly warm rather than ice cold. And people will feel immediately some of the effects in their own body with that. However, people may have more of that sensation of that warmness that may surprise or shock them a little bit. And in so that case, taking it with food will allow an enhanced digestion of the food mixing with the herbs and the ingredients in here will actually allow the active ingredients to go to a deeper tissue and have even a more profound rejuvenation effect. The question will often come up about what about pregnant women? What about nursing mothers? What about people that are under doctor's care for a specific medical condition? Well, as in the case with all nutritional supplementation, any person that's under active doctor's care, tell them to please consult with their healthcare provider before consuming this or any other nutritional. It has been safe for thousands and thousands of years. It's would you like to eat healthy food, breathe clean air, drink pure water? Would you like to have a pure, healthy liquid nutritional? The commonsensical answer is absolutely yes. The legal answer is please speak to your provider beforehand. So I want to thank you for joining us, because you're here because you have the power to attract abundant opportunity in your life. You have the power to promote the prosperity of true wholeness. And you can and deserve the ability to enjoy a radiant luster that envelops people that are caring for the well-being of others. And this is an excellent, excellent vehicle for doing all of that. As Dr. Suhas says, there is intelligence in this formula, and sharing this with others will bring intelligence to your domain. So ask yourself, what's in my refrigerator? What's in my children's lunchbox and backpack? What's in my briefcase or my purse? Is it water? Is it milk? Is it tea? Is it coffee? Or is it something like soda or high fructose corn syrup? Make the intelligent choice and share with others that intelligence. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let me turn it over to Kate right now, and we look forward to seeing you at the next product webinar.
Thank you, Dr. Tom. Thank you, Dr. Suhas, for such a fantastic and educational exercise in going through this product. This product has been a staple in my refrigerator and a part of my diet, my husband's diet, for the last 7 years, and I can truly attest to how powerful I think it is. I just want to thank each of you for dialing in tonight to listen to us, and to remind you that we are doing this webinar with the SAB every single month, the first Thursday of every single month. So the next Thursday will be happening in December, and we look forward to speaking with you then. As always, we have our training webinars, our POP webinar on Tuesday nights, our training webinar on Thursday nights, and our inspiration webinar on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, and I hope that you're tuning in to all of those as well. Thank you guys so much, and have a fantastic night, and I'll look forward to seeing you on our next webinar.